Welcome to the next niche site coaching outsourcing webinar. I hope everybody's doing really well, and thank you very much for coming on to the call or the webinar tonight. I wanted to just thank you for the time that everybody's taken off for the last week. I hope everybody's caught up on what they've been doing with regards to the niche site coaching, and I'm really excited to be back again because I get to share with you one of my really passionate parts of the topic, which is on monetization. And in today's webinar, I'm going to be talking about the different income streams that you can create from your niche website. So hopefully if you've gone through the whole last, say 6 weeks of the webinar series that I've been doing here, you should be able to be up to this part right now to start to consider monetization. So what I'll do is, before I jump into today's topic, I want to just give you a quick overview of what we've done so far to date, so that way you're aware of where we're up to. And for any of the new people that have just come onto the call for this week, I really welcome you, and I just want to encourage you to take a look at all the previous webinars as well, because this really is a step-by-step guide of how to set up and monetize and also outsource your niche website. All right, so the first thing I want to share with you right now, as I said, is just a recap. So I'm just going to pull this up. In the last few weeks, particularly from weeks 1 to 4, I've been talking about how to be able to set up and create your websites. So I'll just give you a quick summary of that. Weeks 1 to 4 is setting up the website. So you've also had to do a bit of research and come up with exactly what niche. And then from there, I've also talked a lot about specifically on creating content for these sites as well, and also where to get this content as well. And this is the powerful thing about creating content. Once it's there forever. And unless somebody takes it down, which I hope it doesn't happen if you violate any of the websites or any of the rules, then obviously someone's going to take it down. But hopefully it's going to be up there for the longest time possible. Then from weeks 5 to 6, I showed you the traffic generation strategies. So you can see that the traffic generation strategies, I talked about creating articles and then submitting these articles to article directories, and also to spinning this content as well to be able to create more content very, very quickly, which allows you to be able to submit it to all the other different networks out there as well. Now in this week, which is week 7, I'm going to be talking about specifically monetization. So this week's going to be pretty jam-packed. I'm going to give you some monetization strategies and some concepts here which you can take away and implement. And the thing that's going to be important about this is that you can test it as early as once you start doing the traffic generation strategies on your website. Or you could even start it a little bit much later until you start getting traffic. But the whole goal is obviously to be able to generate traffic to your site, rank #1 placing for your niche, and also to have real traffic. And you can actually see all that by following your rank tracker inside Market Samurai. So let me just jump into Market Samurai actually, just to show you what to do there. Then we'll jump into monetization. So if you've got a copy of Market Samurai, which I highly recommend that you do, use Market Samurai. If you haven't got a copy of it, as I mentioned, you can go over to testmarketsamurai.com, and I'll give you the link in a moment. But the most important thing is, once you've got your setup and you've reviewed or you've been completing webinars 1 to 6, you'll find that in Market Samurai there's a little option here that would let you be able to track what your website's ranking, which is right over here on the left, this rank tracker. And all you have to do is simply just click on Update Rank Tracker, which I haven't done for this site for a while. But basically there, or go into Google and find out what your site's ranking, and also how many backlinks you've got and so forth. And it's quite important to have that because it tells you how your site is progressing. It will also jump back and forth. You might move from placing 10, then back to 50, then from 50 up to 30, and so forth. So don't worry too much about that. That's pretty much what we call the Google dance. But once you get onto the first page of Google, you should start seeing traffic to your website. Okay. Now, as I said, what I'm going to share with you right now is all about monetization, and hopefully with regards to having all your strategies and set up your website and the traffic traffic starting to come to your website, you can start to monetize and implement some of these strategies. All right, let me just open up and show you some of the concepts that we have here. What I might do actually, I'll put in a white screen for you, it might be clearer to see. Okay, there we go. All right. To talk about monetization, I've got to split it up into two components or two parts. And the two parts that I'm talking about is basically what we call the front end. And these are just terminologies that we use. And the back end. Probably might choose blue. There we go, back end. All right, so there's two parts, and basically you want to look at your website just right here. Let's say this is your niche website. And there are two ways that you can make money from them. You can make money from the front end, or you can make money from the back end. And you can have a combination of both. These are all pretty much interrelated, so make sure that you do utilize both of them, because it can also potentially mean that you can make money from here and also make money from there. All right, so you might be wondering, what is the front end and what is the back end? Basically, the front end is where people see your site. People who visit your site first at the beginning and see that you might have some advertisements, you might have some links, you might have some reviews over there, and you can actually make money from those things. So if you've got an advertisement placed on your website, then basically you should be making money from that because someone's paying you for the advertisement. Now the back end here is the things that are happening in the back end of the website. People don't see these things unless they become a subscriber or part of your emailing list. And this is the power of this one. You can actually sell products in the back end. You can sell webinars. You can offer premium coaching, all those kind of things. I mean, obviously, if you've been with me on my list, you've obviously seen a lot of different promotions I've done, and this is what I focus on mostly, which is the back end. In terms of being able to make money, I think the quickest way to probably make money initially is to probably start it on the front end. And the front end is where, as I said, you make some advertisements, and this is where you obviously generate some quick cash first. But in terms of long term, the back end is actually where you make more money, because this is where the real big dollars are. Because you can probably make $1 to $20, $30, $40, $50 per day from the front end from advertisements, depending on your site. But if you start selling products which you own or affiliate products, you can make anywhere in the vicinities of thousands of dollars just from the back end. Let me just break it down for you. Hopefully you can see what's going on right now. I'm going to give you some of the examples of front end monetization strategies. The first one, as I mentioned, are advertisements. And advertisements could be talking about or referring to Google Adsense, for example. This is a very popular paid service where they pay you for anyone clicking onto an advertisement that you place on your website. And this is a very common one that everybody does, and it depends on which niche you go into. I personally have found some sense of monetization and made some money from Google AdSense, but not as strong as my other areas that I put in. So for example, if you want to just make some quick or fast, simple ways of making advertisement income, is just to place an ad from Google AdSense. And I'll show you shortly where and how that's done. Then the next things you could consider as well is private advertisements. Now, private advertisements are a little bit more specific and also very targeted, and you can also charge a little bit more, and you have control of that as well. Private advertisements are where you approach a specific company in your niche and offer them a spot on a website. Now, say for example, if you're in the niche website such as weight loss, for example, like in my instance, I could approach a health company and ask them if they'd like to advertise on that site, and maybe charge them something like in the vicinity of $100 to $200 per little ad. But it really depends on your niche, and secondly, also too, it really depends on what they're willing to pay and how much traffic you get into a website. So that's private advertisements. The third thing that I want to share with you are paid reviews. This is something that is quite common, though it's not specifically talked about often enough. Paid reviews are basically you taking a product that you see could be relevant to your niche and writing a review for it. And if somebody is interested in buying that product, they'll click on a link just right below your review. And that's most likely an affiliate link which they click on. Now, it would vary if they click on the link and they say they buy that product. It varies in terms of how much commission you might get from it. Some are anywhere up to the vicinity of 70%, some are around about 50%, some are about 30%. Particularly Amazon. Amazon is quite low in terms of affiliate commission. You probably get about 3 to 4 to 5% in terms of that. So it really depends on what you're looking to review. But it's got to be obviously targeted towards your niche. An example, I know a person who's done this really well is on a mountain biking site. And what he did was he just started writing about all different parts, all different things that he does with bikes, and managed to get a lot of traffic through there. And then from there, the biking companies started to see that. So they started sending him products to review, and he got to basically keep those products. So in some sense, you can get a material products to keep, or you can actually get paid to do these things in terms of monetary value. All right, the next thing, as I sort of pretty much said, was affiliate links. So this is in many ways very, very similar to what I talked about paid reviews, except what you might be just doing is just putting affiliate links on your website in terms of maybe banner ads, text link ads, any of those things. And I'll share that with you shortly as well too inside the website, how it looks like. But if you say, for example, if your website is like this, and then on the right hand side you've got a column, which is very common in a lot of blogs, and on the right hand side you'll see that there's opportunity to be able to place banner ads, there'll be opportunity to place link ads. That's where you can also put affiliate link ads in there, which if somebody clicks on it and buys the particular product that you're recommending on the front end, you can make some money from that as well. So that's affiliate links there. All right, so these are really the main core things that I can recommend to do for monetization in terms of the front end. And if you just simply take and focus on, say, 2 of these and really just focus on that and start seeing income from your website because of that, then you can do quite well at the beginning. All right, as I mentioned to you before, let's have a look. Backend. Yes, as I mentioned to you, backend is where you could potentially make a lot more money. So I'm going to share with you also right now is what are the different types of products or different options that you have available in the backend to make money as well. The first one that I recommend as well is checking out selling other affiliate products. That's the quickest way to actually get yourself up and running inside the backend. And that's just simply getting a product from affiliate networks, and you might offer ebooks in the back, courses, and so forth. And really, it's just sending out information to your database once you've built that database up. The other thing I forgot to mention, which is also very much related, is to build a list of subscribers. So you can do that with particular software, and one that I recommend using is AWeber, which is what I use most of the time. Okay, so basically you can sell affiliate products, ebooks, courses, etc. You can also offer your own products as well. Take note as well, back-end products also take a bit of time to create, and that's the reason why they're worth a lot more, because it does take time, a lot of effort at the beginning, but once you've got these in place, it can actually generate quite a lot of income because it's in automation mode. Own products, and you could obviously offer courses, ebooks, etc. Another one are digital products and software. All right, so these two are relating to, say, a piece of software that you might design and create. Let's have a look at, say, for example, iPhones. You could create potentially an iPhone application and offer that in the back end and sell that to people. That's one type of software or example of a software. There are many obviously other pieces of software that you could create and design. There might be anyone ranging in your niche that you might look at doing. And obviously I'd recommend outsourcing all that. Don't do it yourself because it will take you a long time to program that. Another option are webinars. Exactly like what I'm doing right now. As you can see, this is not a paid webinar. This is a webinar that I've offered as complimentary to people on my database, on my subscribers. And inside here, I've shared with you all the details on how to create and build a niche website. Now, you could obviously charge people to attend these webinars, and these webinars cost anything from $97 and upwards. I've been on webinars which cost up to $500, so it really depends what they do. Membership sites. Membership sites are very, very popular, and this is where you can generate recursive income. So repeat income that comes in month after month after month. And these are really good because people can interact with you, people can interact in the community and learn quite a lot and also access information as well. So membership sites are also another option of actually generating some income from the back end. And then last but not least, premium coaching. Potentially, this is a sort of more high-end type of service that you're offering, depending on what your niche is. And some people actually charge anywhere in the vicinity of up to $500 plus for coaching people in their particular niche market. Tennis coaches, I know a person who owns a tennis membership site. He also charges premium coaching to give training advice and also training tennis tips as well. So this is very, very much a one-on-one type of coaching, but also too can be also very, very lucrative as well. All right, so hopefully you can see the different types of monetization strategies that I've shown you here, and you can take these away to be able to implement into your niche site. What I want to do right now is to actually show you some examples, and that way you can see clearly exactly how this can be applied, and that way you can go away and implement it for your niche site as well. All right, let me just close this. And I'm just going to jump over, as I mentioned to you, Google AdSense would probably be something that you could start off with. So I'm going to share with you right now advertisements. If you want, just go to google.com/AdSense. Oops. And if you go to AdSense, you'll be taken straight to this page, as you can see right here. All right. And that's basically where you can actually set up Google advertisements. Close that. Now this is my account that I've set up for 3-day detox. This is currently what is getting paid from just having advertisements on the website. I'm going to jump in right now and show you the 3-day detox website, so that way you can see where these, actually I'll show you the quickest way to lose weight. I'll show you where the advertisements are actually placed. So if you see right here, we've got plenty of content that's created. And I'll just highlight it for you so you can see it. So if you have a look over here where it says ads by Google, this is an advertisement. What we call this is text ads. And you can simply place this onto your website very easily just by putting that on. Excuse me. And when you actually have a ad there, if somebody is interested, they'll click on that ad to obviously have a look at what furthermore information there might be. From there, it will obviously pay you a rate from Google from the clicks there. Furthermore, if you scroll down here, we have also advertisements inside the ad. So I'll click on right here. Also too, in the meantime, while that's loading up, I'm going to also load up the 3-day detox website as well. Just the fact is that there are different placements of different ads. All right. So as you can see on the right hand side as well, I have an advertisement that's right here, as you can see. And basically, if you've got that ad right there, whoops, you could actually monetize that. And if anyone obviously sees that, they'll click on that. And what you'll notice is that with these type of ads, I've actually had them blended in terms of color into the site to match. You could choose any type of colors you want. You could choose how that size looks. You could also choose the link as well, the color of the link. There's a lot of options that are available inside Google AdSense, and I'll jump in a moment to show you that. But the most important thing is to show you exactly how these ads look. Also too, you can see that there's ads here as well. Apparently this is a very popular spot to put it, even though it's sort of really right in the face of things. And that's, yeah, it's been quite helpful with that. All right, so you might be wondering now, firstly, how did I put these ads into my website? And secondly, where do you get all the details for that? So let's jump in to have a look in the backend, which is into WP-admin. And if you log inside, which I'll do right now, there was a plugin that I recommended. Whoops. There's a plugin that I recommended for you to install, which I'm going to share with you right now to ensure that you know what to do. So it's logging in right now. Okay. The plugin that we're going to see shortly is called Advertisement Management. And that's the one that I recommended way back in, I think, week 3, which is free tools to optimize your site. Okay, we're just logging in right now. There we go. So on the left hand side, we scroll down, and if you see right here, if you click on plugins, you'll see one that says Advertisement Management. That's the one that, as I mentioned, to install. If you've got that one installed, you can actually use this to insert all your advertisements into your site without having to do too much fancy coding or anything like that. So once you've done that, go to Advertisement Management, which is on the left-hand side here. And you'll notice that there's different options available. You'll see right above here is that you can see it automatically inserts the advertisements for you if you decide to put it in. So you've got one below the post, titles front page, below title inside post, below post when open, below page title, etc., etc. And they've got different areas which is already preset for you, which you can just insert straight into your page there. And that's why you can see that these ads are already set in place. So you might be wondering, okay, where do you get all this code from to be able to just insert? It's just a simple copy and paste job from Google AdSense. So I'll jump over here in Google AdSense. And if you click on My Ads, which is right here, you'll notice that there are different ads for different types of niches. For example, the niche for the advertisement link for that is engagement gift ideas. So if you want to create a new ad, you just simply click on New Ad Unit, and what will happen is it'll open up something like this. And it will ask you to just give it a name, which I've given it engagement gift ideas. I've also edited the style, which is right over here. And it allows you to change the color of the template, color of the background, color of the links. And usually I only display about 4 different ad links as well. Once you've done that, then what you've got to do is to get the code. And it says here, get code. So all you have to do is simply copy that code that you've got here. Just make sure you copy everything and simply place it in here into advertisement management. And probably within, say, 3 hours or so, once the code's been created or the ad's been created, it will start to pop up and search for related ads that relate to your niche. And that way it will start to pop those ads up there and you could potentially start making money. But the key obviously is to make sure that you have traffic coming into your website. Otherwise this doesn't work. All right, so that's how you implement something like this for Google AdSense onto your website. And that's just a brief overview of that. What I want to also share with you next is putting in affiliate links with review ads. And I'll just jump back to this. as my site's loading up, you'll notice that on the front page of Quickest Way to Lose Weight, there is actually a review of a particular product called Herbalife. Herbalife is, I think, some kind of marketing company, which is a multi-level marketing company, if I remember correctly, and it distributes a lot of health products all across the world. Now, you could write a review just like how my virtual assistant has done, and this is up to you if you whether or not you want to go down this path, is to write reviews and specifically have affiliate links in there. So if somebody clicks on that and goes and buys a product from that, you also get a commission. And what you want to do is, with writing reviews, you want to make sure that it is in depth, it gives an honest opinion. Make sure that you do talk about the pros and the cons. Don't just talk about the pros of a product, but talk about also the cons and give your opinion. And that way, when people read through it, they'll get a better understanding and build up that trust, because then all you're not doing is just selling the product. And that method does work quite well. Just a little tip there, it does take a bit of time. It's not going to happen overnight, but once you've built that up, I know that it becomes a recursive income over a period of time. And the fact is that I know that a lot of people do that currently for large niches, like in camera market, in blogging, in a lot of different places, and they are making income from that. So that's another way of doing or generating income from, say, for example, paid reviews or reviews on your site. All right, I think the next thing I wanted to share with you, this has all been, excuse me, the front end. Excuse me. I haven't been doing this much talking since I've been away on holiday, so yes, it's a little bit more different for me. Oh, and by the way, for everyone on the call as well too, if you are interested or if you have any questions, feel free to write them up on the right-hand side here. You're most welcome to ask me the questions at any time, and I'll do my best to answer them towards the end of the session as well. All right, let's just jump back into it. And as I said, this stuff that I've just been sharing with you is all about the front end. And as you can see, this is the front end right here. You could actually set up this all for your team to be outsourced to and get your team to set this all up for you, which is what I've done. My virtual assistant puts in all these ads. She goes out and finds them and has them all set up for me. Okay. The next thing I want to share with you is, you might be wondering, now where do you find all these affiliate links? Where do you find all these affiliate products? All right, there's a really cool tool inside, or cool module inside Market Samurai. So if you go to Market Samurai, as you can see in front of you, you'll see that there is a monetization module right here. And this is a very powerful module, because what we'll do is that we'll go out into the market and find products for you without you having to sit there and sift through them yourself. And it will actually base it on your target market, which is really powerful. So what I would do is go to the monetization module, type in your keyword. In my instance, it's the quickest way to lose weight. You've got different sources. You've got Amazon, ClickBank, Commission Junction, Pay.com. And these are pretty much the top 4 really popular affiliate networks out there where you could potentially find products to generate income from. So I'm going to click on Search Amazon without account, and I'll click on Find Products. And what will happen is that it will display a whole list of products that are available from Amazon relating to your particular market. And it's really up to you. If you want to take these links and use them, you can. And just make sure that it is something that is relevant to your niche and also relevant to your market as well. Might just have a look at ClickBank, see what there is as well. Alright, so as you can see, there's quite a number of products there. Products can range anywhere from $5 all the way up to $20 or so. And you can obviously look for products that are high percentage of margin and so forth. But this is a really powerful module. If you go in and have a look at it, you can check it out and see all the different available products here. It saves you having to go through to each individual website to find it as well. And that's how you go about finding affiliate products to promote on your site and to monetize. Now, once you've done that, what I wanted to share with you next part is the back end, because what you could do is potentially take these products that I've shared with you inside Market Samurai and put them up into your back end. Now, before I do jump into that and talk about the back end, what I want to recommend to do firstly is to consider setting up an emailing subscribe list. So if I go to 3-Day Detox, for example, what you'll notice on the right hand side of the 3-Day Detox is that there's a subscribe box. So see that right there? This is where people can enter in their first name and also email address if they want to subscribe to detox plan or newsletter or anything like that. And what I would highly recommend is to give away something, so that way it would encourage people to sign up. And you can actually get a copy of or install something like AWeber, for example. AWeber is what I currently use. And if you do want to use my affiliate link, I think it's try AWeber, if I remember correctly. Yeah, tryaweber.com. So yeah, if you do want to use that and get AWeber installed to set up your emailing list, that's an option there for you. Now, the whole idea behind using AWeber, for example, is to capture one, your subscribers, and two, to be able to build up an automated follow-up system where you could put specific emails for them to send out automatically without you having been there. And that way you can line up potentially offers to be able to offer to your database. Now, as I said, I'm going to be talking about the back end. This is what I'm actually talking about is if we jump back over to creating affiliate products or offering your own products, you can see that I've got right here an offer, like a sales page for a particular product that's related to the 3-Day Detox. And people can actually get this if they've subscribed in the back end. And I think after about the third email, this gets sent off to them to offer them a product like this for $37. And they can click on this to buy it, and it'll go through that whole process of actually purchasing something. So, for example, if you sold this product for $37 and you had numerous sales on a monthly basis from this, you're already generating passive income from just selling products like this in the back end. And it's very, very powerful because the fact is that once you've got this in place, it just continues to happen as long as you have the ranking on top of Google for your niche website. So that's one option that you could go down. I talked about that, creating own products and offering these own products as well to your subscribers. Another one that I shared with you in the back end as well is webinars. And you might be wondering, what kind of software would you recommend? Well, the one that I've been using is called gotowebinar.com. And this is the system that I've been using to host all my webinars. And it's a very easy to use system, and it can be integrated with a lot of other applications. I know this integrates with AWeber, it integrates with a lot of the affiliate systems out there, and also too, it can be integrated with your personal type of sales funnels as well. So if you, for example, have a nice list, say anywhere in the vicinity of a few hundred people on your subscriber list, you could send an email out and inform them of a webinar that you're running within your niche, and offer just to say, look, to set up the cost of running this, it would probably cost you something like $29 to attend this webinar. If you are interested, just simply click on this button, pay for it, and you'll get access to the webinar. And that's how I've done it with a lot of my a lot of things that I offer, and people come on board to actually take a look at these things and learn from you as well. So that's a very popular way, and also a very profitable way to be able to make some income as well from the back end. So let's go to webinar. Next thing I'm going to share with you are membership sites. Okay. Now you might be wondering, what is a membership site? Membership site is basically anyone who signs up to your course and could actually access content and also access information all about your specific market. So what I've done here is I've just actually opened up the Mass Outsource Mastermind course, which is my membership site in the back end here, and you can see that there's quite a lot of different facilities or areas. There's the forums, there's a toolbox, course outline, And as I mentioned to you earlier, this is something that does take time to create, because the content that you got to put together will require a bit of effort to do. But once you've got that and you've set that, you can deliver this content automatically without having to set it up anymore. And on a monthly basis or recurring basis, the people will continue to pay you to be able to access that, whether it be for all this information or to just access the community. And just like how I've got here right now, a forum of a community, people can access it. So it's up to you if you want to go down that path. It is a little bit more hard work, but I can guarantee you it's actually a lot of security for you in the long term, because it actually does help with regards to generating some recursive, stable income. And once you've got that in place, you can imagine what could actually be coming out of it. So you could use that for your particular niche. Particularly, for example, like once you've got a database of, say, as I mentioned, up to a couple of 100 to 500 people, you could start offering this opportunity for them to sign up and become part of your program, and for you to deliver content to them on a premium level as well. Now, you might be wondering, how much can you charge for membership sites? Well, most people will probably start off roughly around about $47, anywhere up to the vicinity of about $300 per month. And I'll just show you and do some quick maths for you actually. This might help you just to gain a better understanding. Let's say, for example, if you signed up to 100 people at $47 a month, that's $4,700 per month. Obviously, 100 would probably be not a realistic number. Maybe in the first month you might get 20. Then next month you might get another 20. But imagine if you kept building that up over a period of time over the year, and you got up to, say, 100 or 200 people. That's an extra $5,000, almost $5,000 per month of residual income that comes in just because you've set this all up. And even if you just change the figures and went, say, from, for easy calculation for me, $50 times by $97 per month, that would probably be equivalent to almost $5,000 per month in residual income. And if you do that, well, that's only 50 people. You can double that up to 100 by 97. That's $10,000 a month. And the figures can obviously keep going up, but you need to also build a presence and also build up the content, and to prove to people that what they're going to sign up for is going to be helping them as well. So consider the membership sites as being a very good residual income, and also a very powerful way to be able to generate income from the back end. Okay, so hopefully you understand and you can see the concepts all behind it. Obviously, to go into talking about how to set up a membership site or setting up these go-to-webinars or digital products will be really only dependent on your niche, and will take a lot more time. It is something that's very, very specific, and I can't really quite run through this all within an hour, because it does take many, many days, at least a few weeks, to be able to show you how to do that. All right, and finally, but not least, is premium coaching. What I found that's been very useful is quite simply just putting up a simple page on your website. Excuse me. And on that website, all I've done is just gone to PayPal and pulled out a link to, or button on, from PayPal. So for example, we have a look at the 3-day detox offer, and I'll scroll down right here. And you'll see that this is big buy now button. That button is actually linked to PayPal. So if anyone clicks on it, it takes them straight over to the PayPal payment page. Now, why am I sharing this with you? The reason being is, if you're interested in doing premium coaching or specialized coaching towards your niche market, you could set up something like this and offer it to people, and all they have to do is simply pay for it. Once they've paid for it, they can get access to you, and you can coach them for that. And premium coaching is quite popular because it is a very intimate type of coaching, which allows people to ask specific questions and also get value out of it. And as I said, you can charge anywhere up to $500 to $1,000 for coaching if you're starting out as well. If you've been in the market for quite some time. But starting out, I know people charge anywhere in the vicinity of about $100 per hour for a coaching session, and they are starting to make money from that as well. So I'd highly recommend go to paypal.com, access and use the buy now button, and that will allow you to capture or receive money into your currency quite fast and quite quickly. You don't need to buy a merchant account or anything. And it doesn't cost anything from PayPal until you do get paid, and they will charge you a percentage of that. All right, so that's pretty much on premium coaching and part of the back end. One last thing I just want to share with you, as I mentioned, is AWeber. Now, some people might not even know this, or it might be something that is not common there, but there is an opportunity to be able to make income from having an emailing list. Now, if you've got subscribers on your list and you've got hundreds of them that's there, you could potentially offer advertisements inside your newsletters. So if you've got AWeber set up like how I have, you just simply go to aweber.com. What you'll find is that inside, say for example, your newsletters, there would be some, oops, my drawings are not the best today, so I apologize for that. Let's say this is just an email newsletter. And let's say you got a little heading there, and then it's dear so forth, and then blah, 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 blah. And then maybe perhaps right at the end, you might want to put like a little affiliate link of a text or anything, or maybe an advertisement, just a small little advertisement for something. And if somebody pays you for that, like a private advertiser, imagine if you've got 200 people on your list, you could actually charge to have that space there. You could even have a little banner at it inside your email list as well, and charge to pay for that as well. So that's opportunities that you could actually generate income just from your list as well. And people do it. It's not very common, and not many people see it very, very much of an opportunity, but I'm suggesting that as being one opportunity that you could consider using, because it is something that you could easily set up and it doesn't cost you anything. The only thing is you got to find the right people to advertise for you. You could even go as far, I guess, as putting Google advertisements in there if you wanted to. It might even work. So yeah, that's the back end of newsletters monetization. So hopefully you can see some of these principles and concepts that I shared with you is quite, it's really understanding the concept. To actually implement these is actually not very hard. It's just a matter of putting some time and effort into just putting these in place. Or if you're like me, you can actually outsource it and get your virtual assistant or virtual staff to do that. And what they'll do is you just give them this task and then tell them to do the research and find out how to do it themselves. So that way they learn. And once they've learned how to do that, they can teach you. All right. So what I like to do right now, excuse me, is to actually summarize what we've talked about today. So there's been quite a lot of strategies that I've actually shared with you today in regards to monetization. And as I said, there's two parts that I've separated into. I've separated into the front end, where I talked about advertisements, both paid from Google and also private from companies in your niche. Excuse me. Then also too, I've shared with you about paid reviews. And paid reviews is just simply writing a review on your blog or on your website and putting an affiliate link there. Also talked about getting affiliate links and putting that also too on your website. And furthermore, I've also shared with you as well the back end. So the back end, there's numerous things that we did actually go into. There was ebooks that you could create and sell from affiliates, courses, and also to even audio products as well. And they all vary in terms of prices. in regards to whatever market you're in. There's digital products that you could offer to. And you might be wondering, okay, where do we find all this? As I mentioned to you earlier, I'd highly recommend, if you haven't got a copy of Market Samurai, get a copy from testmarketsamurai.com. And inside there, as I mentioned, there's the monetization module, which you could actually use to be able to find affiliate products from both ClickBank, Amazon, Pay.com, and also Commission Junction. And that is very, very powerful because it can help you leverage and also get access to a lot of other particular products in that market. So that's what I would use for Market Samurai to access all that. Then, as I mentioned, too, digital products and software, which is like an iPhone application or a particular software to meet the needs of your market, in your niche market. Webinars, just exactly like how I'm running one right now. You can also charge for it, anywhere in the vicinity of $97 and upwards. Membership sites. And I shared with you how Mass Outsource Mastermind membership site looks like and who's involved and so forth. And it's very powerful to actually have one because, as I said, it's recursive income. And also, too, I talked about premium coaching, which you could charge on a one-to-one basis. And then finally, newsletters, ads. So I just talked about that just a moment ago, saying how it's possible to be able to put advertisements inside your newsletters and also charge for that as well. All right, so that's pretty much a review of what I've done today. I know there's a lot here that I've tried to cover within, say, an hour to be able to share that with you. And these are just available options for you to be able to create potential income streams from these areas on your niche website. Now, obviously, if you haven't got traffic to your website, there's no point implementing this as yet. But once you start to get traffic to your website, then start to implement some of these. And what I would recommend you do is consider this first part, which is advertisements, and do that first. That way you could generate a little bit of income, and then from there build up to the rest of these, which is possible as well. So what I would do is, as an action step, as I always give an action step at the end of each webinar, is potentially, if you already have a site set up and you're ready to start monetizing it, get advertisement management set up in your niche website. As I mentioned to you, the plugin. Go to Google Adsense and set up an account with them and start copying across some ads and have them placed inside your niche website. That way you can start to have site or advertisements displayed, and if anyone does click on that, then great, you can start to make some money from that as well. Obviously, over a period of time, you can choose other ones, but I would recommend starting off with just 2 at most to focus on those 2. Then as you start to see some income generating for your niche websites, then go on to the rest of it, which is, I'd highly recommend going through the back end, because that's where you could potentially make a lot more income as well. And as usual, test. Testing these things will only show you and yield results, because if you don't change and test and you don't improve, you're just going to stay at the same level. So you need to do that as well. All right. I think that's pretty much it on today's session. I just wanted to also ask, if you do have any questions right now, this is your opportunity to ask them. I do see quite a number of people on the webinar tonight. So if you are querying about any of this, don't really understand how it works, or you have any questions about how the front end, the back end monetization strategies work, this is your opportunity to ask me right now. And on the right hand side of your screen, as you know, in your GoToWebinar control panel, you'll be able to see a questions box, which you can simply just type some questions into there. And obviously, if you do want to ask away right now. Otherwise, I will wrap up the call, and we'll post this up onto my blog, which you can also watch and review again. So I hope that you have taken away a lot of information here. In the last, now it's 7th, this is the 7th week, as I mentioned. The last 7 weeks, I've gone through from the process of setting up and researching for the niche website, then all the way until I've actually showed you how to set up a domain, install a WordPress site and choosing and installing those tools. Then also getting a traffic generation strategy, which helps you with getting traffic to your website. And as I mentioned, this is one of the second last week, which is week 7 of income generation strategy. Next week, what I'm going to show you right now is I'm going to tie the whole process all together and give you a pretty much a summary and overview of what we've gone over for the last 7 weeks, and then share with you on how it's possible to be able to outsource all of this to a virtual assistant and virtual staff, which I've done right now and I still am doing right now with my team. And then from there, you can obviously see where to find the people, how to find those people, and so forth. So if you are interested in that next part for next week, I'll be sharing that with you in quite a bit of in-depth detail. And yeah, we'll be talking specifically about outsourcing your niche for next week. And that's going to be the final webinar for this whole webinar series. Okay, so thank you so much for coming onto the call tonight. I see that people have been very, very interactive, so it's great to see that. And as I mentioned, I'll have this webinar replay posted up onto my blog by next week sometime, and you can most welcome come back and have a look at it again. All right, my name's Tyrone Shum from tyroneshum.com, and I'll see you inside the next webinar. And thank you again.